When I bought my townhouse in a quiet, tree-lined neighborhood, I knew there'd be some rules to follow. I didn't mind a few guidelines. It helps keep things clean and safe. What I didn't expect was that my biggest hurdle wouldn't be traffic, repairs, or even rising interest rates. It would be Karen, the HOA vice president, who appointed herself the community gatekeeper. Everything started when my college friends came to visit one Friday evening. We hadn't seen each other in a while, so I invited a small group over, 6 people tops. They parked legally, kept things quiet, and we spent the evening in the backyard, catching up over tacos and music playing softly through a Bluetooth speaker. But apparently, even laughter past 8 p.m. triggered alarms in Karen's world. The next day, I found a typed letter in a plastic sleeve on my door. Notice of unauthorized guest activity. As per HOA regulations, all visitors must be pre-approved for gatherings exceeding 4 individuals. Repeated unauthorized social gatherings may result in formal complaints and penalties. Karen L., HOA Vice President. I rolled my eyes. There was no such rule in the bylaws. I had already read them when I moved in. I even confirmed with our HOA President, Tom, who sighed and admitted, Karen likes to take initiative. It didn't stop there. The next week, my sister dropped by to bring me homemade food. She stayed for less than 20 minutes. Karen, from her perch behind the curtains, apparently reported it as suspicious activity. Enough was enough. Instead of arguing with Karen, I decided to lean into the rules in the most community-positive, publicly acceptable way possible. I reached out to Tom and proposed an idea. What if I host a community event, family-friendly, potluck style? I'll file the paperwork, invite everyone, even cover cleanup. Tom was thrilled. You know, we've never had a real community event. Let's do it. I made flyers titled, Meet Your Neighbors, Backyard Bash, Games, Food, Music, and more, hosted by a frequent guest offender. I included a sign-up sheet for potluck dishes and made sure to invite Karen personally with a handwritten note. You're more than welcome. Hope to see you there. She didn't RSVP. The event was a hit. Over 40 residents showed up. Kids played cornhole and drew with sidewalk chalk. Someone brought a karaoke machine, and we had a table lined with homemade dishes from 10 different cultures. One neighbor brought a grill. Another brought folding chairs for everyone. Even the usually grumpy residents said things like, we should have done this years ago. The best part, HOA president. Tom stood up near the end and said, let's make this a seasonal thing, every spring and fall. Thanks to me for organizing our first official neighborhood mixer. As the crowd clapped, I spotted Karen watching from her window. She never came out, but the next day I found a different note on my door. This one was handwritten. Thank you for organizing the event. It was nice to see the community happy. Karen. Was that an olive branch? Maybe. Or maybe she just realized she'd lost the ban the guest battle in spectacular fashion. Since then, there's been no more trouble. I still host friends. We still have events. And Karen? She keeps to herself mostly, but every now and then, I catch her smiling at the kids playing tag during our block potlucks. Moral of the story? When someone tries to isolate you, build a bigger table and invite the whole neighborhood.